Surely there's gotta be more drakes around here somewhere. Like, where are they all hiding? Wait. Wait, what's that? Oh my, no way. Dude, that's insane. Let's gather around the campfire. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Valheim. I'm just out here enjoying some fishing right now. It's a big day today as I'll be taking on Bonemass, boss of the swamp. Now here is my super awesome plan for this episode. I'm going to build the rest of my house and officially move in. To do that, I'll need to build a stone farm and a wood farm so that I can AFK the supplies. I'll definitely need to do a bit of exploration and resource collecting. I'm going to gear up as much as possible before taking on Bonemass, which means better gear, better food, and mead. Lots of mead. And finally, I'm going to smack Bone Daddy's ass and stag myself a wishbone so I can explore the mountains in the future. I'm sure nothing will go wrong, so let's jump into it. Okay, so I'm out of supplies again. Like, completely out of supplies. It's definitely time I got started on a wooden stone farm, and for that I need a Grey Dwarf spawner. Now luckily, I had found and marked on my map a few episodes ago that was near my starter house, and was pretty isolated. And after a quick jog there, I stood there in amazement at just how dumb Pass Grayson was. This thing was sitting at sea level. Like, there was literally no way I could make a farm out of this one. On to the next spawner. Luckily, I had found and marked another spawner during my trip to find Haldor, and so I quickly teleported over to the Elder Spawn to check it out. It was perfect. Besides the one-star shaman who wanted to end me, of course. Considering I was using stamina food at this moment, I was at risk of dying to, well, pretty much anything. But I set to work. Now, step one of building these spawners is to put a roof over them to stop the spawning mechanic. Smart players would trap the spawned Grey Dwarves in a separate hole since the spawner maxes out at 3 spawns at a time, but I've already proven that I like to do things the hard way. Step 2 is to dig out the ground underneath. You basically put a big pit and eventually close off most of the spawnable space so they are forced to spawn where you want them to. Normally step 3 is to build a bunch of stone walls to make the spawn pit, and then you're pretty much done. However, today, step 3 was literally just to survive, as I first got attacked by a troll. Again, I'm full of stamina food right now. Somehow I did manage to take Troll Daddy out, only for the literal worst case scenario to happen. A raid. And a swamp raid at that. Just keep dodging, just keep running away, staying away from them. I'm sure I'll make it out of this alive, it'll be fine, right? And what am I stuck? Yeah, I basically died from the Draugrs looking at me. Okay. Flee, order! Put my stuff on, and flee! One teleporter shame and a lot of trying not to die later, and I was able to finish the spawner. All that was left was to wall it in, and set up some storage and a portal inside, and well, this was it. It was about 99% finished, and I could just semi-AFK here and collect wood and stone for free. I will say that using campfires here is not ideal because they break pretty quickly, especially if a brute spawns in, but I didn't have access to one of the items needed for the braziers to make it fully AFK yet. One long AFK-ish session later, and I was stocked up on supplies and ready to dive back into the building. Hey, how's it going? It's a nice sunny day here in the world of Valheim. Oh, this? This behind me? Yeah, that's my house. And it's done. Mostly. I'm sure you all want to see what it looks like and what I've got going on here, but that's gonna have to wait. I'm currently moving into the new house, and I want to get a bit settled in before giving you the full tour. However, I will say that I am loving this new house. It still needs some major work, but I really just enjoy hanging out at the house and kind of working on small things here or there. Only problem is my neighbors suck. I've been raided by trolls like 3 times while working on this house. With the first 2 things on my list complete, it was time to begin gearing up for the epic boss showdown to come. My plan was to upgrade my iron gear to the max, but there was one key thing I thought might give me an edge. And so I grabbed a few supplies and headed off towards the island north of my main spawn island. There in the Black Forest, where I had collected my first Surtland cores a few episodes ago, I had seen the base of a giant mountain. Now, exploring the mountains right now may be a bit questionable at best, since I need to beat Bonemass to fully dive into the biome. But I was going there with one goal in mind: frost arrows. You see, Bonemass has a weakness to blunt damage, aka my mace, but also to frost. The hope was that these arrows may rack up a lot of damage in the boss fight later on. I built a portal in a nearby tower and headed in, where I immediately ran into some danger. Wolves. Wolves are some extremely powerful enemies in this game. You can eventually tame them, and there are tons of videos of players using wolves to beat all the bosses in the game, because they're just OP when you have a good group of 2-star wolves. Now that I had set up shop, I popped home to grab some frost resistance meat so I wouldn't freeze in the cold here, and the exploration began. Oh great, 2, 3, holy crap, run! Oh my god, oh, I'm totally gonna die right here, aren't I? This is gonna be embarrassing. And ended pretty quickly. Yeah, I don't think I had much of a chance right there. 3 wolves at once and almost no stamina pretty much just sealed the deal for me. Alright, I got my stuff back and there's already another wolf. Two teleports of shame later, and the exploration was back on. However, I noticed pretty quickly that this mountain had almost nothing to offer except for a bit of death. So I headed north to a bigger mountain in the same area, and man, things were about to get nuts. You see, this was a real mountain biome, massive and dangerous, but also full of the good stuff. And so I bravely battled my way through wolves, and eventually climbed towards the peak of this mountain, until I came across the summoning area for the 4th boss, Motor. Now, honestly, I briefly considered just fighting Motor before Bonemass, since Motor is relatively easy, in my opinion. But I had my sights set on Bone Daddy for this episode, and I wasn't going to back down. Finally, I came across some drakes, which was exactly what I was looking for. They dropped the materials I needed for my frost arrows. Now these guys are pretty pesky normally. Like, they won't kill you most of the time, but they will bother the heck out of you. Kinda like the Grey Dwarves. Just die, you pest! Just take my arrow to the face, there we are. Couple more, like 2 more hits, and this should be it. There we are. And last one right there, got him. And while looking for the body of the second Drake, I noticed something insane. Yes, this is the clip from the intro. I had spotted a silver ore vein. Now for those of you not well versed in Valheim, this is extremely lucky and rare. Normally you have to defeat Bonemass to find silver because the ores are located below ground. However, they do occasionally spawn in ways that allow you to find it much earlier in the game. Time to get to work. Now while I'm mining this ore out, I'd like to take a second and appreciate everyone who watches these videos. Over the last few weeks, my channel has been growing rapidly and my sub count has almost doubled. thank you all so much. It really, really means a lot to me to see such a great response. I really enjoy reading all the comments and talking to people in the comment section down below. I also appreciate those of you who are giving tips and things in the comments. I'm pretty knowledgeable about the game, but I don't know everything, and I forget things sometimes too, so it really helps me out. One thing I have seen a decent bit of in the comments though is about my weapon choices for certain enemies. And I really appreciate those of you trying to tell me which weapons work the best in which situations. I'm sure you're just trying to help. However, I'm fully aware that there are resistances and weaknesses for each enemy, and that some weapons are better suited to some enemies. The thing is, I just don't care about that stuff. I enjoy using the weapons I enjoy using, and fun is much more important to me than always using the right weapon. I'm not too worried about being 100% efficient 100% of the time. Except for the bosses. By all means, feel free to give me weapon or gear suggestions for the bosses 100%. Again, thank you all so much for the support. By the way, while we're here talking about this, what is everyone's favorite type of weapon in Valheim? Leave a comment down below and tell me what you prefer to use when you play. Okay, I'll stop gushing about you guys now. Time for some fireworks. This is the trick I've been trying with the copper, and with silver it works pretty much every time. You just have to dig it all out and then mine the center of the ore. A couple of trips back and forth to a portal later, and I had collected a fair amount of silver ore. Over 100 in fact. I murdered a few more drakes. Mined some obsidian. And triumphantly returned home. I then collected some coal to smelt my silver ores, and dove into a swamp dungeon for a bit of extra iron so that I could start gearing up for the epic boss showdown later on. Now, while things are smelting up, I think it's probably time I finally... Dude! Come on! I'm trying to film a clip here. Gosh. Okay, let's just jump into it. Here's my house. And isn't she a beaut? Now, one thing you will notice here is a lack of windows, and that's because I'm still working on the interiors a bit. So they will be coming in probably the next episode, I imagine. Down here, I have a wonderful dock that I've built where I'll be able to park my boat later on. I'm really looking forward to the maiden voyage from this dock soon. If we head back through the underpass, on the left-hand side here, you will see my cart storage with a little bit of a roof to keep them dry, a bonfire, and around this corner we have the main door of the building. Now, the idea that I had for this house was a modern longhouse on the inside, so to speak. The heating is here in the center, and it rises to the top, and kind of keeps all the floors warm. This is my kitchen, and well, I need some help from you guys. As you can see, I have all my food in chests and my meat in chests right now, but this main cooking area is lame, like super lame. So I'm hoping that some of you out there might have some ideas of how I could kind of create a cooking area with a chimney that goes through the second floor, through this little hole right here. So if you have ideas, please post some pics in the Grace Only Knows Discord or some ideas in the comments below. I'm really at a loss there. Through this door I have the small farming patch, as well as my beehives. If we head back inside and go upstairs, we can see that I have a lot of extra space here for either storage or extra portals, something along those lines. But I also have a very nice and large balcony on the side here, which I can look out to see all the nature as well as some of the water behind us. Heading back in the house, this area right here is going to be where my bedroom is. But again, until I finish the cooking area below, I can't really do much with this. I don't know where I'm going to place things. So that'll be in the next episode, hopefully, as well. Back this way, we have the overpass. And it's got some nice views from the front of the house, as well as the back of the house with the dock there. And there will eventually be some windows I'm going to be placing in here once I get more into the mountain biome. This area right here, if I can make my jump, is the storage area. So I've kind of started putting the storage area together yet. There's a lot more expansion that needs to come through there. Jumping out the window here. Ooh, a flower. Nice. Here we have my favorite room in the entire building. This is my crafting area. Here on the left we have the forge, as well as the workbench across the way there. I also have my ores stacked in this chest. This portal right here, this leads to the coal dungeon, or the coal farm. And so I can just kind of pop in and out, stock them up right in these chests right here where I have my bulk storage with stone as well as coal. And over on this side, all the different types of wood. Out the back here, I have my smelting area. Just the 2 smelters right now, that's all I really need. I have a chest for my ores, as well as a chest for the rest of my crafting materials that I might need in the future. Down these stairs here, this will eventually be a pen for some animals, but I haven't quite gotten there yet. So, that's my house. What do you guys think? Okay, boss prep time. I made some wolf armor for my chest and my legs. I then also made as many frost arrows as I could. 120 should certainly be enough for this fight. After that I made a wolf cape, which, one, it looks super cool, but it also protects me from freezing in the mountains when I get there later on. Looking good. As usual, of course. I then visited Haldor and bought some emir flesh. Emir flesh? Ymir flesh? Emir flesh? I don't know. Grabbed some supplies and made myself an iron sledge. Now let's try this baby out. Yep, that's a certified fun weapon. This is a beautiful sight. This world is a lovely place to live, to thrive, to explore. But an evil once again threatens to unravel all that I have done here. It's time to take the fight to my least favorite boss, Bone Daddy. Bonemass. I shall not fail this fight, for I have so much more to protect now. Bonemass shall be on the receiving end of a mace to the face. Teleporting to the Elder Spawn, I took my original boat and I set sail to Bonemass, who was just a short distance away, luckily. Well, I've got a bit of sailing to do, so let's do this thing right.
Hoist the sail to the swamp, we'll haste with maces in our hand. We'll find our place through storms and fogs in this treacherous chase. Deliver our blow with a mace to the face. In our long ship, strong and true to the swamp's heart, we will follow through. Iron maces gleam, courage embrace, to where Bonemass looms, lay him to waste. Hoist the sail to the swamp, we'll haste. With maces in our hand, we'll find our place. Through storms and fog, a treacherous chase. Deliver our blow with a mace to the face. Poison and pestilence we will tread. Valheim's warriors, no fear to be spread. In the swamps dark cold where shadows lays, we will meet our fate with the mace. Beneath the moon's eerie ghostly grace, we'll stand as
one epic sea shanty later, and I was there. I made my way through the swamp, murdering all kinds of fun enemies like this abomination and these draugrs, until finally I set my eyes on the spawn area for Bonemass. Let's do this.
A treacherous chase, deliver our blow with a mace to the face.
Now in my experience, Bonemass is a brutal boss. Last time I fought him head on was in the early days of the game on a server with some friends, and we just kept getting murdered over and over and over and over. Eventually those friends stopped playing, and I was forced to beat him myself. Since that day, I have resorted to pelting him with arrows from above instead of fighting him with melee. I was as worried as I could be for this, but I actually found him super easy to beat. Wait, is this actually happening? What's going on here? I just stomped his ass. Using the iron sledge for the minions and macing him to the face, I beat Bone Daddy in about 7 minutes with no problems whatsoever. Well, damn. That was unexpected. Bonemass is a pushover. With the battle over, I then made my way to spawn and hung up my new trophy on its appropriate place, before heading back to my starter base to call it a day. Well, a lot was accomplished in this video, like a lot. I hope you all enjoyed, and if you did, don't forget to smack that like button and subscribe while you're at it, if you haven't already. Also, if you're interested in playing Valheim with me and other subscribers of the channel, don't forget that I have a server launching today, if you're watching this on the day it comes out. Another video will be coming out shortly with the exact details of the server and how to join. Of course, if you're watching this in the future, well, the server's already live, so what are you waiting for? Also, consider joining the Grace Only Knows Discord so you can stay up to date on the server and spend time talking to other players from the server if you want to join. See you all again real soon. Bye.